Hello and welcome back to Banished with Band-Aid. So this is the little more advanced tutorial on overview. Lets you show or lets you see some of the more nuanced aspects of the overview. As you can see, I'm on a different town now. I just wanted to hurry up and show you guys. This town's fairly well established already. As you can see, I've got a couple pastures, some farms, some orchards, mine, quarry, and whatnot going. I've slowly had to expand into this collection, but yeah. So some of the more advanced things you can do with the overview is if you actually click on each of the buttons, you get this nice little pop-up. As you can see, this lets you adjust the resource limits directly. Toggle whether or not that building's working or not. It lets you directly assign more people, assuming you have laborers. Currently, I do not because I had a small die-off earlier on this save file. Well, and tells you how many people are actually working. Sometimes it gets stuck and you have to retoggle it again. Why? I do not know. I do not make the game. So, as I said, you can directly assign or deassign people, assuming you have enough laborers for both functions. Okay? So on any of your production buildings, so your woodcutters, your quarry, your mines, what have you, can go away. You get this nice work thing. Market as well, but it's smaller. Your storage things will not have that button, simply because why would it? All you do is put stuff in it. But your crops is where those your crops and your pastures and your orchards are where those things start to change. As you can see, they have very different buttons compared to the mine. So anytime you lay like a crop or a pasture, you have to also select what's actually going to be produced out of it. Like, for example, this is a peach orchard. Peach orchard, generally you don't want to place them side by side. So 2 peach orchards, pumpkin field, a potato field, a plum field. Here are some cows that I just bought, and here's my chicken pasture. Well, chicken coop, really. Okay, so as you can see, the orchards also give you this nice cut button, so you could cut down the trees, because say you have absolutely no wood, your people are freezing to death. That's a good emergency button. You have your harvest things for when there's actually stuff in the orchard or crop to actually harvest. You have your nice little food limit. The crops in the pastures, whatnot, also let you assign more job slots, depending. The reason for that is if you do something that is absolutely max size, it takes 4 workers to work it effectively. You can place smaller ones, but then over-assign workers to it. Sometimes you can get a second crop out of it if it's a smaller field. And that's important because if you could do a 15 by 15, for example, and get 1 crop, or you could do not a 2 by 2, or do a plot that's half that size, but then get that second crop so you're still getting the same, it helps you save space in the long run, which starting off, not that big of a concern, but when you start getting the really high population cities that, you know, pretty much all usable land is being utilized, that efficiency is much needed because it lets you get twice as many farms for the same amount of production. Okay, but for now, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so some of the more buttons are the show or hide production statistics at this location. What that will do is give you basically a history of what it's produced. So, like, as you can see, last season, I didn't get that many peaches from this particular farm. This season, I'm getting more than double that so far. Season rolls over in once spring starts, but it's winter. I'm not going to get any more out of it. So I've gotten 2 harvests out of this, whereas last season it was just 1 because I didn't have enough workers on it. I still don't have enough workers on it, but I don't need them that much when nothing's happening at the orchard. Okay. Then you have your center view on the selection. So Sam over here, bam, I'm right back. Okay. Next is the toggle pinning button. That is useful, more so early on. If you do it throughout the game, you're going to get really cluttered really quickly, especially when your buildings are close together. But that will let you, by pinning it, let me move it real quick. I like having a clean overview. If you're pinning it, you can then pull something else up beside it. So going back into the production thing. So this farm, which is that one, produced more peaches than that farm last season. But this season, this farm produced more. Or orchard, rather. Sorry. So that is useful for comparing. You know, like for example, here I have 2 fishing docks that have overlapping areas. Well, this one produced that, so let's pin it. This one produced that, let's pin it. So here we go. This dock is producing more. So that would be useful for me to destroy this dock then. But right now, that's all the fish production I need for variety. So that is very useful information, particularly when you're comparing your... I've lost the word. The production of the different buildings. Okay. If you click on your quarry and your mines, you also get your percent remaining. In my guide, I explained that these basically function as massive nodes. Once you run out of percentage, you have to place a new one so you can start getting the resources again. Okay. The other overview item that I wanted to show you guys is the town hall. That is a lot of information. So starting over on the overview tab, basically it's just combining these two and these two. You have your production tab, which gives you how many you currently have, how much you've used, how much you've produced. So like as you can see, I'm producing a surplus of food. That's a good comparison. How much you've used in the past year and how much you produced in the past year. So for example, last year I produced less than this year, but this year I have a surplus because last year I had a small die-off due to age. Okay, let's get back in there. Then you have your inventory. You can sort it by name or quantity. You can display items in storage, item in trading posts, or items in homes. Because remember, all homes have their own storage. See, some of my guys are getting kind of old. All buildings have their own storage, provided they use that resource. Like for example, there's my blacksmith. My blacksmith right now is just storing 1 iron and 5 logs, but I have a lot more logs and a lot more iron than that. Okay. Go back over here. Next you have your nomads. Once you've built a town hall, periodically you will get nomad join requests. This will give you a large influx of citizens. However, it also carries the chance of disease. That's why it's not automatic, and there's either an allow or a deny button. Okay, and then you have your trade items. These are the few items that you can only get either by the game giving it to you by your difficulty level or by trading for, and they are very expensive. So here you'll find things like seeds and your livestock. As you can see, I have both cattle, bam, bam, and chickens, bam, bam. Okay? And so as you acquire these things, you'll see them light up. As you can see, I only have a couple of base resources. I only have 2 crops, 2 orchards, and 2 animals at the. Okay. So that is the town hall. So in the brief overview, I showed that you could do paths. Bam. So the people that live here are working or not exclusively, but they are working in these 2 buildings. So if you click on a home, you see where everybody who lives in that home is working in and their commute to work. If you click on a building that's worked, you see everybody that works in that building where they live. As you can see, this one person lives all the way up here. That's a long commute every time he goes to work. And the person they live with also works there. So that means I need to build another house closer down here. That way they're not wasting that time commuting back and forth. Okay, so another example, bam, there's my woodcutter, woodcutter, woodcutter. Feature's not that bad. Fishing dock, fishing dock. That's just because I decided to expand up this way because I wanted a bridge in the middle of my town. So occasionally you'll do things that aren't efficient, but just give you that look that you want it. So that's an example of that. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below in the comments, and I'll try and get back to you. And thank you for watching.